Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so sorry that I haven't uploaded on here in the longest time, but lately I have been feeling very inspired to do haunted doll looks, so I thought that I would film one as a makeup tutorial for YouTube. So let's get right into the video. For my brows, I use the brush from the L'Oreal Brow Lamination, but I'm constantly refilling it with the Göt2b Glued styling gel because I feel like it has a really good hold. So I just brush this over my brows because they're already pretty thin, and then I wipe off the excess with my fingers. I do my usual skin prep routine, and then I go straight into prepping my eyelids for eyeshadow, and I'm using what's left over from this Milani concealer because it is a pretty whitish looking base since it's ivory, and I feel like that goes really well with the eyeshadows. So I just put this on both of my eyelids. I blend it out with my fingers before setting it just to make sure that I'm getting rid of any possible creases. And the powder that I'm going to be using to set in that concealer is going to be the Makeup by Mario Soft Blur Setting Powder, because I feel like it is a really good setting powder since it's pretty finely milled. To start off the eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette, and I'm going to be grabbing that light brown because it's a cool tone light brown, and I'm putting this all over my crease just to get some definition happening and a little bit of a wash of color because I really like this cool tone brown on me. After making sure that the powder is thoroughly packed on the lid and looks even, I then start to blend it out, and I'm doing just these little circular motions all over the lid. I'm not being rough with it, I'm just gently blending over in this little circular motion. I am then going to go in with the NYX Swear By It eyeshadow palette because I really like this gray tone that they have there on that palette. And I want to use it for my inner corners to make myself look a bit undead since we are going for the whole haunted doll look. I feel like looking a little undead is really good for this look. I go back to that first palette because I want to use this red wine shade. I think that red looks really good when you're going for an undead look, and it makes you look tired, which is exactly what I want. So I'm packing this on the outer third of my eye before I start to blend it, and I'm trying to just kind of get it all over the lid almost. It's like I want the whole lid to have a little bit of that wash of red, so that's why I'm zigzagging it into the middle of my mobile lid as well. I'm also using the red because quite a few of the dolls that I'm using as a reference for this look have some bit of red eyeshadow on them. I swipe out the look with that fluffy brush because I just want to make sure that everything looks as smooth and coherent as possible. I'm using a white eyeshadow to bring back light into my inner corners and brow bone, so you can just use any white eyeshadow that you have. I'm using one from an old Tarte palette that I don't even know the name of. I'm going to use this ColourPop Stranger Things eyeshadow palette that was gifted to me by them because I really want to use that grayish bluish color because look at how amazing that little bit of grayish bluish color is looking already. I feel like it just looks really good for the whole undead thing and to make me look a little bit creepy. And I'm placing this right where the nose and the brow bone meet so that I can add some definition there. Because we are going for like porcelain doll that's haunted type of look, I want that glowiness to my skin. So I'm using the Wet n Wild Primer Serum because I feel like it makes me look really nice and glowy before I go in with my eyeliner. So while my primer is like being absorbed by my skin, that's when I do my eyeliner. And I'm so bad at filming eyeliner. It makes me nervous to know that the camera is there, so I end up screwing up a lot whenever I film myself doing eyeliner, which is why I end up just doing it off camera instead, because I made a huge mistake right there on the middle of the lid and it was bothering me so much. So yes, I ended up just doing it off camera because yep, there it is. So yeah, I did it off camera and I went for like the vintage thick eyeliner look. Here is the eyeliner. I know that it's uneven. But anyways, we are moving on and we are going to do the foundation. I love the L'Oreal True Match foundation. I mean, look at how good it's already looking on my skin, and I really like this shade in particular because since it's so pale, it's exactly what we want for this look. Since we are going for the undead type of look, it is good to look pale right now, so you know, that's why the face won't match the chest, and I'm not going to try to make it match the chest. I'm going over the foundation with this flat brush so that I can blend out any brush strokes that I had previously. For contour, I'm using this Fenty Beauty contour stick in the shade Amber, and I'm applying it directly onto my face because I want the shadows to be there. You know, I want the shadows to be quite noticeable like they are in the Phantom dolls because I just think that that looks so pretty on an old haunted doll. And that's why I ended up placing it directly, even though normally I would not place the contour directly on my face. But for this look in particular, I feel like it is the right call. Now I'm doing my concealer, and I absolutely hate this concealer, but since I bought it, I'm using it. It's the L'Oreal Serum Concealer. It does not look good on me no matter what I do. I've tried with a brush, with a sponge, letting it dry, not letting it dry. No matter what I do with this concealer, it ends up separating and it like never blends out all the way. No matter what I do. I've tried everything, but it just doesn't look good on me. But I'm using it because I bought it, and I really only throw things away if they're like causing me irritation or something like that. Otherwise, I do try to just use up whatever I buy. For the blush, I'm using the TirTir blush, and it's very used. Mine looks very disgusting, but you know what? I really like this formula, and she's very well loved, which is why the packaging looks disgusting now. But I'm placing this in like the Phantom doll placement because I want to look very doll-like and very cutesy while I look very haunted at the same time. So it's just my cheeks, my nose, and my chin for the blush. I then go back in with the foundation brush to just blend out the edges of the products because I want to try to marry everything together. I want to try to get everything on my face to look like it's nice and coherent and smooth. Before setting my face, I'm going back in with the contour brush to just kind of like retouch the contour, blend it upwards towards the blush, make sure that everything is, you know, once again looking smooth and coherent. To set my face, I'm using that Makeup by Mario Soft Blur Setting Powder, and I'm just putting this literally just all over my face to set it, and then I use the powder version of the TirTir Blush Duo to set in my blush on the areas that have that cream blush going on. So just again my cheeks, my nose, and my chin. Now I'm going to go back in with that NYX Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette to use that cool tone brown that we used in the beginning for my nose to just kind of make the contour stand out a bit. And I'm also putting it on my eye sockets to just kind of like make me look a little bit tired, a little bit sunken in. I'm also using the red there as well to again just highlight the fact that I'm haunted. I'm tired of being in a haunted doll. I'm tired of being a haunted doll. That's what we're trying to do with this look. So then I just tried to blend these two shades together on the inner part of the eye socket there. And I'm also using that red for my lower lash line to just kind of add some definition and keep adding in that red color because I think it just looks really good for the haunted type of look, and it'll just make me look a lot creepier and a lot more tired, so that's what I want. I'm using the gray shade again for the inner corner of the eye sockets there because I feel like it looks amazing to have that there when you're doing this look. It just looks really good if you want to look undead. Not if you want to look alive, but for looking undead, that grayish color is really good on the inner corners. For my brows, I'm using this brow product. Well, I don't know what it is. It's a ColourPop product, and I just keep like making it come back alive every time that it goes dry. I'll just use a liquid mixing medium to make it come back alive. It was probably a cream eyeshadow though. For my lips, I'm starting off by using that same contour stick to add some shadows on the center of my upper and lower lips. and also to line my lips as well, and I put some on the corners of my mouth. I then use the contour brush to just blend out those shadows, and I'm going in with this Waterism glow tint that was gifted to me from TirTir because I absolutely love it. I love it for the doll look. I feel like it looks amazing. It's so glossy, but it's red, so it's kind of like, oh, like what is on your lips? It's glossy and red and it looks like a doll, and so I just love it a lot. I'm adding some red eyeshadow again on my lower part of my eyes to blend it in with my brush because it looks like one of the reference photos that I'm using for this makeup look, and it looks like I'm crying about the fact that I'm a haunted doll, so I feel like that's a plus. And yep, I just feel like it looks really good to have this kind of go down, like the eyeshadow, the red eyeshadow going down into the blush, and I'm also retouching the red eyeshadow up top to make my eyes look a little bit more sunken in, and then I'm just making sure to blend this out really well. I'm using the L'Oreal Original Telescopic Mascara to give the fake lashes something to kind of grip onto, and I'm also putting this on the lower lashes. These are the fake lashes that I'm using. Now for the lower lashes, I had run out of storage on my phone, but I put on the mascara and then I tweezed the lashes together to have that doll effect. And that's it. That is all for this look. I hope that you guys like it. I hope that you were able to enjoy the look, that you like the whole haunted doll type of thing. I just really like niche makeup looks, and I love it for it to be creepy. So that's why I wanted to do this one. I hope that you guys have a nice day, and thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe at the end of this video.